Estas cuestiones vienen, ya les digo, o sea, el proyecto Blue Beam no significa una proyección en el cielo, significa un conjunto de elementos que hacen a que la mente de las personas crean en el espacio, crean en que hay cosas allá afuera que pueden venir, que pueden entrar, que alguien nos va a venir a salvar, etcétera, etcétera, etcétera. Lo hacen de la manera que nosotros estamos viendo. Pero hay un punto en la historia en el que una de estas fases, en el que una de las fases que es preparar a la venida del falso Mesías, en el que va a comenzar toda una cuestión de comunicación, de ataque extraterrestre y demás, que es lo que nosotros vemos a través de los audios estos de Ronald Reagan, que la gente lo tiene bastante presente, que corresponde a cuando Ronald Reagan habla de que tal vez no sería necesaria una fuerza extraterrestre entre nosotros. Acá, esta es la supuesta secretaria de Von Braun, en el que habla mucho de que justamente todo lo que sea extraterrestre es falso.
My name is Carol Rossin. I'm an educator who became the first woman corporate manager of an aerospace company, Fairchild Industries. I'm a space and missile defense consultant. I've consulted to a number of companies, organizations, government departments, even the intelligence community. I was a consultant to TRW, working on the MX missile. So I was part of that strategy, which turned out to be a role model for how to sell space-based weapons to the public. And I founded the Institute for Security and Cooperation in Outer Space, a Washington, D.C.-based think tank. I'm an author and have testified before the Congress, the President's Commission on Space, and to a number of committees of that kind of relevance. When I was a corporate manager of Fairchild Industries in 1974 through 77, I met the late Dr. Wernher von Braun in early 74. But he assured me that he would live a few more years in order to tell me about the game that was being played, that game being the effort to weaponize space, to control the Earth from space and space itself. Von Braun had a history of working with weapon systems. Von Braun's purpose in life during the last years of his life, his dying years, was to educate the public and decision makers about why space-based weapons are a dumb, dangerous, destabilizing, too costly, unnecessary, unworkable, undesirable idea, and about the alternatives that are available. And as practically a deathbed speech, he educated me about those concepts and who the players were in this game. What was most interesting to me was a repetitive sentence that he said to me over and over again during the approximately 4 years that I had the opportunity of working with him, and that was the strategy that was being used to educate the public and decision makers, and the scare tactics, the spin that was being put on a weapon system. And that was how we identify an enemy. The enemy, at first, he said, the enemy against whom we're going to build a space-based weapon system that he thought was a ridiculous idea, unnecessary and very dangerous, not to mention too costly, etc. The strategy that Wernher von Braun taught me was that first the Russians are going to be considered to be the enemy. In fact, when I met him in '74, they were the enemy, the identified enemy. We were told that they had killer satellites. We were told that they were coming to get us and control us, the dirty commies, that whole story. First, the Russians were the enemy against whom we're going to build space-based weapons. Then terrorists would be identified, and that was soon to follow. We heard a lot about terrorism. Then we were going to identify third world country crazies. We now call them nations of concern. But he said that would be the third enemy against whom we would be needing to build space-based weapons. And the funniest one of all was against what he called aliens, extraterrestrials. That would be the final card. And over and over and over during the 4 years that I knew him and was giving his speeches for him, he would bring up that last card. And remember, Carol, the last card is the alien card. We're going to have to build space-based weapons against aliens. And all of it, he said, is a lie. A lie. I think I was too naive to know at that time the seriousness of the nature of the spin that was being put on the system. And now the pieces are starting to fall into place. We're building a space-based weapon system based on a premise that is a lie, a spin. I have concluded that it's based on a few people making a lot of money and gaining power. It's about ego. It's not about our essence and who we really are on the planet and loving each other and being at peace and cooperating, using technologies to solve problems and heal people in the planet. It isn't about that. It's about a few people who really are playing an old, dangerous, costly game for their own pocketbooks and power struggle. That's all it is.